Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lainey. Thank you so much for stopping by. In today's video, we're going to be doing part 3 of my items I've hit pan on series. So if you're interested in seeing the items that I have hit pan on in the last like 9 months or so, then just keep on watching. Before we get into that though, please remember to hit that subscribe button so you never miss another video from me. Alright you guys, so I was thinking it was about time to do an items I hit pan on video. I did one at the very beginning of my YouTube channel. I did one at the very beginning of my channel as well as one at, I think it was October, November last year. I will link both of those videos down below if you want to see the items I hit pan on in those portions of my panning journey. And today we are going to do the rest, and I have to say these are all eyeshadows except for one. I have hit pan on some other items. For example, like I finished my balm blush, but then I finished it, so I'm not going to be featuring it in this video. I think that is enough for just explaining this video. Let's hop into the items I hit pan on. So I think it makes sense to start off with the one item that is not an eyeshadow, and that is this. This is the K-Voss Fairy Dust Pressed Highlight in the shade Moonlight. This is something I got in Ipsy, and there is a very barely a pan. Let's see if it focuses. Yeah, it's like right there. It does not want to focus on it. Let me see. Yeah, you cannot even tell. I hope you can see it right there. It is the tiniest of baby pans. I hit pan on it, I think, at the very end of last year. So yeah, it's a fine highlight. I don't know that I've even reached for it more than a few times this year. It is something I'd like to finish, and I do enjoy it. It's just, I've been focusing on my Flexitarian highlight the majority of this year. Next up, I have my 4 Super Shock shadows that I have put into my Partners in Cream. So I'm going to be careful with this one because the pan is loose, but we've got Flower Child. We've got my most recent one, which is In Harmony. We've got Olympic, and we've got Like a Moss. So those are all of the Super Shocks I've hit pan on. I'm working on one more right now on my Partners in Cream, and when I hit pan on that one, I have one left to hit pan on. So that is really exciting. I'm really glad I've been able to rotate through them throughout the past few months and get some good use on them. So let's hop into all of the eyeshadows I have hit pan on. Since these are, most of these, if not all of these, are from my Pan Those Shadows. Some of these were bonus pans, some of them weren't, so let's just hop into it. First up, we've got my Beauty Bay Book of Magic palette. I think I had 2 shades that were in my Pan Those Shadows, and the rest were bonus pans. So as you can see, and if you've seen some of my videos before, I have a ton of pans. So we've got this shade, we've got these 3 shades right here. This shade has pan, as well as this one on the end, and then these last 3 shades have pan. So I think almost half of this palette has pan. Let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So not really half, but almost half. Almost half of this palette has pan on it, and it's something I would like to hit pan in every shade, just because these are really easy to hit pan. These are very shallow pans, and they're very powdery, and some of the shades aren't super pigmented, so you do have to use quite a lot. But yeah, I'm very happy with the progress I've made on this palette, and the shimmers are just absolutely beautiful. They're some of the best shimmers in my collection. That's it for the Beauty Bay Book of Magic palette. And then another pan I just recently hit is my Impressionism one. It's kind of a cheat because I did mostly focus on it for my eyeliner, like an eyeliner topper or just as liner, and I would scrape a little bit out and mix Duraline with it. But that is the shade Focuses Scintillate from Musée Beauty's Impressionism palette. And I don't know if I showed the palette itself, but this palette right here. So yeah, these pans are very deep. I love this brand, I love these eyeshadows, but the pans are deep, and it was a difficult one to hit, especially that shade, just because it was hard to do a variety of interesting looks with it. Next up, we have my Venice Fling palette from Estate Cosmetics in collaboration with Bailey Sarian. And I think this was the first shadow I hit pan on in my Pan Those Shadows series, and that is the shade Bonfire, which is right here. I kind of formed, like, accidentally formed this, like, shelf But yeah, I really, really love this palette. It's a fantastic palette, and I really like that shade because it was very versatile, and I was able to hit pan, and I've used it since, and it's just a great shadow, a great palette, very underrated brand. Next up, we have my Urban Decay Naked Honey palette, and I rolled in the shade Queen, which was definitely, right there, a difficult shade for me just because it was a darker shimmer, but I made it through it. I think I did a lot on the outer corner and on the lower lash line, but I eventually hit pan, and I'm very happy I did that. Now let's talk about some ColourPop 9 pans. The first one I'm going to be careful with because when I opened it to check if I hit pan on it since my last video, it was starting to kind of pop out a little bit, but if you can see, I'm just going to be very, very careful. I did hit pan on Earthshine down here, or no, Mr. Sandman, sorry. Yeah, it came shattered to me, so I'm just very, very careful with this shade. Yeah, I hit pan on Mr. Sandman, and then I thought I had hit pan on this before I filmed my last one last year, but I guess I didn't, because I watched my videos back and it was not in there, but I hit pan in Kiss My Hoss. That must have been at the very end of last year as well. This is from the Just My Luck palette. And then the last one we have is from the Main Squeeze palette. This was also, I think, in the first rotation of my Pan Those Shadows. And I hit pan in the shade Baywatch right there. I got a few more left. We've got a few from my Moonspell palette from Lunar Beauty. And I have 2. I have pan in the shade Samantha and Sabrina. So I really, really love this palette, and I'm glad I was able to hit a couple pans on it in, you know, the last 9 months or so. And lastly, I have 5 single shadows that I've hit pan on since my last video. First up, we have Shuggies from Davina. These are actually all from Davina. Next up, we have Exosphere, which is a multi-chrome, which is very exciting. Next up, we've got Skyla. It's kind of hard to see, but we've got Kazookles. And lastly, we've got Pixie Sticks. You can see a little pan right there. And those are the single shadows that I've hit pan on in the last few months. Alright, you guys, so that is everything I've hit pan on in the last, I think it's been 9 months since my last video. So yeah, I wish it was more like actual items as opposed to mostly eyeshadow. So this was a really good exercise for me to do so I could pay more attention to those items in my collection, just to make sure everything gets some love and pan in it. I don't have like a set schedule for these videos. Like I said, I think I did one in January of 2020 as well as like November-ish, and obviously I didn't do it until now, which is August 2020. At least when I'm filming this, I'm kind of spending the day filming like a bunch of videos just to have on backup, so when I don't have time to film, I can post these. So yeah, this is everything I've hit pan on. This was good for me to do because now I know to focus on other items than just eyeshadow. And that is all I have to talk about today. So once again, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you like down below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!